Stop chasing money. In this video, you'll learn why you need to stop. You'll learn what to do and how to do it so that money starts coming to you without having to chase it. Stay until the end and see for yourself. Chapter 1: The Law of Inversion. Why chasing money takes it away from you. Let's kick things off with a truth that flips everything you've been taught about work and money on its head. The reason you're burned out, grinding away, and still not seeing results? You're operating under an inverted law. You've been told you have to chase money to get it. But here's the game changer, straight from the wisdom of Florence Scovel Shinn: whatever you chase runs away from you. This is the law of inversion. Think about the vibe of a chase: desperate, anxious, tense. It comes from a place of lack. You only chase something you believe you don't already have. When you're frantically pursuing money, you're screaming to the universe, on a vibrational level, your deepest belief: I don't have money. It's out there, slipping through my fingers, and I've got to grab it before it's gone. And the universe, it's a perfect mirror of your energy. It picks up your vibe of lack and distance and delivers exactly that. More lack, more distance between you and the money you want. This is a universal principle. Picture yourself in a garden, trying to catch a butterfly. The harder you run, arms flailing, the faster it darts away. But if you stop, tend to your garden, and become a vibrant, blooming flower, that butterfly will glide right over and land on you effortlessly. Money works the same way. It's not a wild animal to hunt down, it's an energy to attract. Florence Scovel Shinn would say money is your servant, not your prey. When you chase it, you put it in the driver's seat and turn yourself into the servant. You flip the power dynamic. Your exhaustion, it's not just from the work, it's from the energy you're pouring into this fruitless chase. You're playing the game with the wrong polarity. The first step to real wealth isn't a slick new sales tactic or a hot investment tip. It's stopping the chase. It's shifting your energy from pursuit to attraction. The Bible slips this truth into one of its most powerful stories, the prodigal son, in Luke 15. The younger son demands his inheritance and bolts to a far-off land, blowing it all on a wild lifestyle. When the money runs dry, he's left in the dirt, feeding pigs and so desperate he's eyeing their slop. At this point, he's the poster child for chasing, scrambling for any scrap to survive. And what does it get him? More misery. The turning point comes when he comes to himself. He stops running. He shifts his focus. He remembers the abundance of his father's house and decides to head back, not even as a son, but as a humble servant. He stops chasing survival in the world and turns toward the source, symbolized by his father. And what happens next? The text says, while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. Notice the flip. The moment the son stops chasing the world's scraps, the source, the father, runs to him, showering him with everything: a ring, new clothes, a feast. Abundance races toward him the second he stops racing after it. Your first move is to make a conscious choice to stop running. This doesn't mean quitting your job, it means dropping the chase energy in your work. It's an inner shift. Start paying attention to your thoughts and words. How often do you catch yourself thinking or saying things like, "I've got to hustle for that client," "I'm fighting to pay the bills," or "this rat race is killing me"? Every one of those phrases is another step on the treadmill of pursuit. What's the race that's wearing you out the most right now? Call it out in the comments. Naming it is the first step to breaking free. And if you're ready to learn how to stand still and let the butterfly of wealth land on you, drop a like to declare your decision to stop running. Subscribe, because in the coming chapters, we'll show you exactly how to become the most magnetic flower in the garden. Chapter 2: Becoming the Magnet, the secret of preparing the vessel to be filled. You've stepped off the treadmill of chasing. You're done running. Now the real work begins, but here's the twist: it's not about grinding harder. It's about preparing and aligning. If you want money to flow to you, you've got to become a magnet for it. A magnet doesn't chase metal, it just is magnetic, and the metal can't help but be drawn to it. Your job is to cultivate that financial magnetism. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that this starts with preparing your vessel. Your consciousness, your mind, your spirit, they're like a vessel. If it's dirty, cracked, or already stuffed with junk, it can't hold the abundance the universe is ready to pour into it. Preparing your vessel is about clearing out the scarcity mindset and creating an open, receptive space for wealth. Step 1. Clean the vessel. You've got to do a deep clean on your beliefs. As we've covered before, this means forgiving anyone you think has financially wronged you, including yourself. Resentment is like sludge at the bottom of your vessel, tainting everything that comes in. You also need to scrub away beliefs that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve wealth, or that money is somehow wrong. Each of those is a crack in your vessel, letting abundance leak out before it can even pool. This cleaning is an ongoing practice of self-awareness and replacement. When a thought of resentment or self-doubt pops up, you catch it and swap it for the truth. I am a perfect child of God, worthy of all the abundance of the kingdom. Step 2. Empty the vessel. Let go of neediness, desperation, and worry. A vessel overflowing with anxiety has no room for the peace of prosperity. Florence taught a technique called casting the burden. Every morning, picture yourself handing your financial worries over to the infinite intelligence. Say, I cast this burden of worry onto the Christ within me and go free, knowing my supply is infinite and always present. When you do this, you dump out the heavy energy of need and create a vacuum. And the universe, it abhors a vacuum. By clearing out worry, you make space for your provision to manifest. The Bible gives us a perfect picture of this in 2 Kings, chapter 4. A prophet's widow, drowning in debt, begs Elisha for help. Creditors are coming to take her 2 sons as slaves. She's at the peak of desperation. Elisha asks, "What do you have in your house?" She replies, "Your servant has nothing except a small jar of oil." In Scripture, oil represents the Spirit, faith. She had a tiny drop of faith. So Elisha tells her to prepare her vessels. Go around and ask all your neighbors for empty jars. Don't ask for just a few. Notice the key, the jars had to be empty. No room for jars already full of water or grain. She had to create space, and her abundance would match her preparation. Not just a few. She follows through, and the miracle happens. Her tiny bit of oil multiplies, filling every empty jar she gathered. The flow only stops when she runs out of empty vessels. Your abundance is waiting to pour in. The question is, how many empty vessels are you preparing? Are you cleaning your mind of resentment? Emptying your heart of worry? What's the biggest piece of grime or clutter you need to clear from your vessel today to make room for wealth? Drop it in the comments. What's your focus for cleaning this week? And if you're ready to polish your vessel until it shines with irresistible magnetism, hit that like button and subscribe. Preparation is the key to attraction. Chapter 3. The Do It. Number 1. The Inner Work. The story of Solomon, who asked for wisdom and attracted riches. You've stopped chasing and prepared your vessel. Now, what's the first action, the big do this, that kicks off the process of attraction? Florence Scovel Shinn's answer is crystal clear. The real work isn't out there in the world. It's the inner work. Before you go hunting for clients, investments, or opportunities, you need to seek alignment, wisdom, and connection with the source. Most people get this backward. They chase wealth first, hoping it'll bring peace and clarity. But the universal law flips that script. You seek wisdom and peace first, and wealth flows to you as a natural, effortless result. Chasing money is like grabbing at the leaves of a tree. Inner work is like watering the roots. When the roots are healthy, the fruit, wealth, shows up in abundance. No struggle required. So, what's this inner work in practice? It's the intentional act of carving out time and energy to connect with the infinite intelligence within you. It's meditation, prayer, studying spiritual laws. It's that part of your day when you tune out the world's noise and tap into the quiet of your soul. In that silence, you find the ideas, the clarity, the direction. It's where you trade fear for faith, anxiety for peace. Florence taught that your number one job in life should be your contact with God. Everything else comes second. When you make that connection your priority, the rest falls into place like magic. The right people show up, opportunities pop up, money flows in. You stop fighting for those things because your alignment with the source pulls them into your orbit like a magnet. The Bible gives us the ultimate example of this in the story of Solomon, in 1 Kings, chapter 3. After becoming king, God appears to Solomon in a dream and makes him the offer of a lifetime. Ask for whatever you want me to give you. Think about that. The creator of the universe hands you a blank check. What would you ask for? Money? Long life? Revenge on your enemies? The average mind, stuck on externals, would go for those. But Solomon played it like a master. He didn't ask for the fruit, he asked for the health of the root. He said, "Give your servant a discerning heart to govern your people and to distinguish between right and wrong." He asked for wisdom. He asked for alignment with the divine mind to fulfill his purpose. And God's response? God was so thrilled with that request that he didn't just give Solomon wisdom, he threw in everything Solomon didn't ask for. "I will give you what you have not asked for, both wealth and honor, so that in your lifetime you will have no equal among kings." This story is your playbook. Solomon focused on the inner work, seeking wisdom, and as a result, the outer work, wealth and glory, came to him without a chase. He became such a powerful magnet that riches from every nation flowed to him. Your first, do this, is to follow Solomon's lead. Instead of starting your day stressing about bills, start it seeking wisdom. Dedicate the first minutes of your morning to inner work. Meditate. Read a verse or a page from an inspiring book. Say your own Solomon's Prayer. Infinite intelligence, before anything else, I ask for wisdom. Give me clarity, direction, and a discerning heart so I can live my purpose and make the right choices today. How do you think your financial life would shift if, instead of obsessing over money, you poured that same energy into seeking wisdom and alignment every day? Reflect on that and share your thoughts in the comments. If you're ready to make inner work your priority, drop a like to lock in that commitment. And subscribe to learn the next practical steps to turn that wisdom into reality in the physical world. Chapter 4, The Do It, Number 2, The Irresistible Value, How the Bee Attracts Honey Without Chasing the Flowers. You've done the inner work. You've connected with the source and asked for wisdom. Now, the second do this is about turning that wisdom into action in the physical world. If the inner work charges your magnet, this next step makes it visible and irresistible to the world. Here's the secret. Stop obsessing over making money and start obsessing over creating value. Money isn't drawn to desire, it's drawn to value. It's just a tool of exchange, a symbol of the energy society gives you back for the value you provide. Chasing money is focusing on the effect. Creating value is focusing on the cause. When you become an unstoppable source of value, money flows to you as a natural, inevitable result. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that each of us comes into this world with unique gifts and talents. Expressing those talents in a way that serves and helps others is your primary way of creating value. It's your honey. Think about nature, a favorite metaphor of Florence's. A bee doesn't chase flowers to get nectar. It focuses on being the best pollinator it can be, doing its job with excellence. In return, the flowers offer their nectar. The flower, meanwhile, doesn't chase the bee. It focuses on producing the richest nectar and the most enticing fragrance. It pours everything into offering maximum value. And the bees? They're irresistibly drawn to it. The honey, money, is the result of this mutual exchange of value. So, are you acting like a frantic bee or an irresistible flower? Creating value means using your gifts to solve someone's problem. What pain can you ease? What joy can you spark? Maybe your gift is organization, and you can help people declutter their homes and lives. Maybe it's cooking, and you can create food that nourishes body and soul. Maybe it's listening, and you can offer wise counsel. Don't underestimate your gifts. Florence would say your divinely appointed place, your perfect niche, already exists, waiting for you. When you operate from your authentic gift, you hit a state of flow. Work stops feeling like a grind and becomes a joy. And that energy of joy and authenticity, it's wildly magnetic. People feel it. They want to buy from you, work with you, be around you, because you're offering something real and valuable. The Bible is packed with stories of people whose exceptional value attracted wealth and honor. Take Joseph in Egypt. He didn't show up chasing a government job. He was sold as a slave. But in every situation, he focused on delivering maximum value with the gift God gave him: administration and dream interpretation. In Potiphar's house, he was such a stellar servant that he became overseer of everything. In prison, he used his gift to interpret the dreams of the baker and the cupbearer. And it was that value, his unique ability to solve a problem, Pharaoh's dream, that rocketed him from prison to governor of all Egypt. Wealth and power didn't chase him. They were drawn to his irresistible value. He didn't pursue the position pursued him. Your task now is to identify your honey. What's your unique gift or talent? What do you do effortlessly and joyfully that others find hard? Think about what your friends ask you for help with. Think about what you do for free just for the love of it. That's your clue to your greatest value. Drop at least one of those talents in the comments and think of one small way you can offer it as value to someone this week. If you're ready to turn that value into a thriving business that sustains you, hit the like button to declare your intention to be a source of value. Subscribe, because in the coming chapters, we'll dive deeper into how this attraction process works in your daily life. Chapter 5: The Vibration of Satisfied Emptiness. The power of acting as if your bills are already paid. You've done the inner work and shifted your focus to creating value. Now, let's dive into one of Florence Scovel Shinn's most powerful and challenging techniques. It's the "do this" that instantly aligns your vibration with wealth. Cultivating the vibration of satisfied emptiness. What does that mean? It's about learning to feel and act as if your desires are already fulfilled, as if your bills are already paid, as if your bank account is overflowing. This isn't about fooling yourself or being reckless. It's about recognizing that, in the spiritual realm, in the divine mind, everything you ask for is already yours. Your job is to align your physical world vibration with that spiritual truth to let the manifestation happen. Most people live in the vibration of unsatisfied need. They see a bill and feel anxiety. They think of a desire and feel the sting of its absence. As we've seen, that vibe of lack only attracts more lack. The vibration of satisfied emptiness is the opposite. It's looking at that same bill and, instead of anxiety, choosing gratitude. Gratitude for the service you received, for the company that extended you credit, and for the infinite intelligence that has already provided the means to pay it, even if you can't see it yet. It's a radical act of faith. Florence would tell you to take your bills, place your hands on them, and declare, "I bless this bill and give thanks, for I know in the divine plan it is already paid. I am grateful for the infinite supply flowing to me now." By doing this, you shift your energy from debtor to payer, from victim to master. You fill the emptiness of need with the satisfaction of faith. This act as if practice extends to every area. Want a new car? Start giving thanks for the perfect transportation you already have, even if it's the bus. Dreaming of a new house? Treat your current home with the love and care you'd give your dream house. These actions show your subconscious and the universe that you're grateful, responsible, and ready for more. It's your demonstration of faith. It's saying, "I don't need to see to believe. I believe, and so I will see." It's a total reversal of the world's logic, but it's the core logic of the spiritual realm. The Bible gives us a stunning example of this vibration in the story of King Jehoshaphat in 2 Chronicles, chapter 20. A massive enemy army, a vast horde, is coming to attack Judah. Fear and panic would be the logical response. But what does Jehoshaphat do? First, he seeks God, the inner work. Then, he gets divine direction. You will not have to fight this battle. Take up your positions, stand firm, and see the deliverance the Lord will give you. And then, he makes the most counterintuitive move ever. Instead of putting his best soldiers at the front, he sends out a choir of singers. He tells them to march ahead of the army, singing, "Give thanks to the Lord, for his love endures forever." Think about that. Facing a deadly army, they don't shout war cries. They sing praises. They act as if victory is already theirs. They vibrate in the frequency of satisfied emptiness. And what happens? The moment they start singing and praising, God sets ambushes against the enemy, who turn on each other. By the time Jehoshaphat's army reaches the battlefield, there's no one left to fight. Just spoils, riches so abundant it takes 3 days to collect. The victory was won through praise, through the vibration of faith and triumph before the battle even began. Your task now is to practice this vibration. Take a bill or expense that's stressing you out. Instead of fear, do Jehoshaphat's exercise. Start giving thanks. Thank God for your life, your health, anything small. Sing a song of praise. Shift your body language. Smile. For just 5 minutes, act like someone whose financial problems are already solved. How would you feel? How would you walk? How would you talk? Describe that feeling in the comments. If you're ready to make praise your secret weapon against worry, drop a like to amplify that positive vibration. Subscribe, because mastering this technique is a master-level step toward continuous attraction. Explique mais sobre gratidão. Outros exemplos bíblicos. Chapter 6. Turning off the radar of need. The faith of Elijah, who was fed by ravens in the wilderness. You're now vibrating in the frequency of gratitude and faith. But there's one sneaky enemy that can sabotage your magnetism: the neediness radar. This is the mind's habit of constantly scanning the horizon for proof, for signs of how the money will show up. Will that client close the deal? Will I get that promotion? Where's the rent money coming from? This scanning, as practical as it seems, is a slick form of doubt. It keeps you stuck in the energy of chasing, even if it's just mental. You may have stopped running with your feet, but you're still running with your eyes. The do this, for this chapter, is to completely switch off that radar. It's about reaching a state of peace so deep that you stop worrying about the channels and trust solely in the source. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that obsessing over the how is one of the biggest barriers to manifestation. When you fixate on the channels, you're limiting infinite intelligence to the few pathways your logical mind can imagine. You're telling the universe, the money has to come through my paycheck or that specific deal. But the source has millions of channels at its disposal, most of which you can't even dream up. Turning off the radar means letting go of control over the how and focusing only on the what, your desire, and the faith that it's already yours. It's a bold declaration of trust, infinite intelligence. I don't know or care how my provision will come. I just know it will, because you are my source. Surprise me. This total detachment from channels is what opens the door to miracles. It's when money shows up out of nowhere, a tax refund you didn't expect, a gift from a friend, an old debt someone suddenly repays, or an idea for a product that takes off overnight. These are the unexpected channels the source uses when you stop trying to control the flow. Your only job is to keep your vibration high through inner work, creating value and gratitude, and let the universe handle the logistics. The Bible gives us the ultimate example of turning off the radar in the story of the prophet Elijah in 1 Kings, chapter 17. After declaring a drought over the land, God gives Elijah an odd instruction: go hide by the Koroth ravine. You will drink from the brook, and I have directed the ravens to supply you with food there. Picture this: Elijah's in a desert during a drought. No farms, no markets, no people. The human mind would scream, how am I supposed to survive here? But Elijah shuts off the neediness radar. He doesn't question. He doesn't ask how ravens, birds that typically eat carrion, could possibly bring him food. He just obeys and trusts. And what happens? The ravens brought him bread and meat in the morning, and bread and meat in the evening, and he drank from the brook. His provision came from one of the most illogical, unexpected channels imaginable. That was only possible because Elijah didn't limit God with his own expectations. He trusted the source, not the channels. Switching off the neediness radar is a daily practice of letting go. Every time you catch yourself anxiously checking your email for that response or your bank account for that deposit, stop. Take a deep breath and say, "My trust is not in the channels but in the source. My supply is certain and comes to me through perfect, unexpected ways." What's the specific channel you've been anxiously watching lately? A person, a job, an investment? Name it in the comments and declare your intention to turn off the radar on it, surrendering the outcome to infinite intelligence. If you're ready to stop monitoring channels and start being surprised by the source's creativity, drop a like to signal your trust. Subscribe to keep learning how to live in this state of peace and miraculous provision. Chapter 7: Money as Servant, Not Master, the Game-Changing Role Reversal. You've stopped chasing, prepared your vessel, done the inner work, created value, vibrated in the frequency of satisfaction, and turned off the neediness radar. Now, the do this for this chapter is a fundamental shift in identity that locks in all your progress. It's a role reversal. You must stop treating money as your master and start treating it as your servant. This is one of the biggest distinctions between a poverty mindset and a wealth mindset. Someone with a poverty mindset is a servant to money. Their decisions, emotions, and peace of mind are dictated by whether money is present or absent. If money's there, they're happy. If it's not, they're desperate. Money calls the shots. But someone with a wealth mindset, as Florence Scovel Shinn taught, understands that money is an energy, a substance, a tool. And like any tool, it exists to serve a master, not the other way around. And that master is you. Taking on the role of master means you're in charge. You give the orders. You tell money what to do, where to go, and how to serve you. This starts with your affirmations and your attitude. Instead of saying, "I need money," a servant's plea, you say, "Money, I command you to come to me now, in the name of infinite intelligence, so I can fulfill my divine purpose." It's a subtle shift in words but a massive shift in energy. The first is a beggar's request. The second is a master's decree. You stop pleading and start declaring. You stop worrying about money and start planning what you'll do with it when it arrives, because its arrival is a certainty. Treating money as a servant also means you don't fear it. Many people who start earning money are terrified of losing it, of investing it wrong, or of it running out. That's treating money like a fickle master who might abandon you. A true master knows that, as money is their servant, they can always call for more. They're not afraid to put their servant to work, through wise investments, generous giving, or building new ventures. They know stagnant money serves no one. Money, like a good servant, needs orders, a mission. Its mission is to circulate, bless, build, and multiply under your wise command. The Bible gives us a powerful lesson on this in the parable of the talents in Matthew, chapter 25. A man, before going on a journey, entrusts his wealth to his servants. To one, he gives 5 talents, a unit of money, to another 2, and to another 1, each according to his ability. The first 2 servants get the dynamic. They see money as a tool to work and multiply. They immediately put the talents to use and double their master's money. They act as masters of the money. The third servant, though, operates from fear. He sees money as a dangerous master. He says, "Master, I knew you were a hard man, so I was afraid and went out and hid your talent in the ground." He buries the money. He keeps it idle. And the result? The first 2 are praised and given even more responsibility and wealth. "You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness." The third is called a wicked and lazy servant, has his single talent taken away, and is cast out. The lesson is crystal clear. Abundance flows to those who command money wisely and put it to work, not to those who fear it and hoard it. Your task now is to claim your throne. Start talking to your money. Yes, literally. Look at your wallet, your bank account, and give it orders. "Money, you are my servant. I command you to multiply. I send you out to pay my bills with joy, and I order you to return to me multiplied." It might feel odd at first, but it's a powerful exercise to shift your identity from servant to master. What's the first order you'll give your servant money today? Will it be to pay a bill, multiply through an investment, or bless someone's life? Share your first master's decree in the comments. If you're ready to take full command of your finances once and for all, drop a like to seal your coronation. Subscribe, because a true master is always learning to rule with greater wisdom. Chapter 8. The Busy Action Trap. Distinguishing motion that attracts from effort that repels. You've claimed your role as master, ready to give orders to your servant, money. But here's where many fall into a subtle yet dangerous trap, the busy action trap. Believing they need to make it happen, they dive into a frenzy of activity. They work 16-hour days, jump from project to project, and pack their schedules with endless tasks. They're always moving, but not necessarily progressing. They're busy, but not spiritually productive. Florence Scovel Shinn teaches us to distinguish between two types of action: effort that repels and movement that attracts. The first comes from fear and a belief in lack. The second flows from faith and divine inspiration. Mastering this distinction is what separates the exhausted hunter from the effortless magnet. Repelling effort is busy action. It's the grind that stems from the mindset of, if I don't do it, no one will. It's forcing a sale, pressuring a client, or working to the point of burnout out of fear that if you stop, everything will collapse. This energy of struggle, of tension, is a vibration of resistance. It screams to the universe, "This is hard. I have to push. There's no flow." And the universe, as always, mirrors your vibration, making things even harder and demanding more effort. It's the treadmill race we saw in the first chapter, disguised as hard work or dedication. It's rowing furiously against the current. You move a lot but get nowhere fast. Attracting movement, on the other hand, is inspired action. It doesn't come from your anxious, logical mind, but from your intuition, your cheat code. It's the action you take after doing the inner work, after connecting with the source. It's calm, clear, and feels like the obvious, easy next step. It could be something small, like calling a specific person, or something big, like starting a new business. The difference lies in the energy behind it. Inspired action feels light, joyful, and energizing. You don't feel like you're forcing anything. You feel guided. It's like rowing with the current. One gentle push of the oar, and the boat glides far. This is the kind of action that attracts money. It's work that doesn't feel like work. It's the easy yoke and light burden Jesus talked about. The Bible gives us a perfect example of this contrast in the story of Martha and Mary in Luke, chapter 10. Jesus visits their home. Martha immediately falls into the busy action trap. She's distracted by all the preparations, running around, cooking, cleaning, stressed, and resentful because her sister isn't helping. She's stuck in repelling effort. Mary, though, chooses attracting movement. She sits at Jesus' feet, listening to his teachings. She prioritizes connecting with the source, the inner work. Frustrated, Martha complains to Jesus, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself?" Jesus' response is the heart of this chapter. "Martha, Martha, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." Mary chose inspired action, connection, which comes before all effective outer action. She knew that listening to the source's guidance was more important than any busy action. Your task now is to become an observer of your own actions. Before starting a task, ask yourself, where's this urge coming from? Is it fear and a need to do something? Or is it from a place of inspiration and clarity? Learn to feel the difference in your body. Repelling effort brings tension, tight shoulders, anxiety. Attracting movement sparks enthusiasm, calm, and a sense of flow. What's been your dominant pattern lately? Martha's busy action, or Mary's inspired movement? Be honest and share your reflection in the comments. If you're ready to live in a state of flow and inspired action, drop a like to signal your commitment to stop struggling. Subscribe, because the path to effortless wealth is becoming clearer with every step. Chapter 9. The Magnet Worked Sign. How to Deal with Unexpected Wealth Flow. You followed the steps. You stopped chasing, prepared your vessel, did the inner work, created value, acted as a master, and focused on inspired action. Then, one day it happens. The phone rings with an offer you didn't see coming. An unexpected payment hits your account. A business idea suddenly takes off. This is the sign your magnet is working. It's the first major manifestation of your new vibration. Most people think this is the end of the journey, the moment to just celebrate. But Florence Scovel Shinn would teach us that this is a critical moment, a test. How you handle this first wave of unexpected wealth determines whether it's a one-time event or the start of a steady river of abundance. The first reaction to unexpected success for many is shock or disbelief. I can't believe this happened. It must be luck. While understandable, this reaction is dangerous. It credits your success to some external, random force, luck, instead of recognizing it as the direct result of your inner alignment. By doing so, you disconnect from your own power and weaken your magnetism for future manifestations. The right response isn't shock, it's acknowledgement and gratitude. It's looking at the manifestation and saying with calm certainty, I recognize this blessing as the natural result of divine law in action. I give thanks, infinite intelligence, for confirming I'm on the right path. This anchors the experience in your personal power and strengthens your faith. The second trap is the fear of loss. After the initial high, the shadow player can hit hard. What if this is the only money I'll ever get? I'd better hoard every penny because there might not be more. This fear of loss throws you back into the vibration of scarcity and can literally shut down the flow. The right approach is trusting in the continuous source. You must treat this first wave not as a puddle that'll dry up, but as the first glimpse of an underground river breaking through to the surface. Your job is to manage this flow with wisdom, not fear. That means following rule number 9 from our previous guide. Prudent preparation. You give thanks, pay your debts, build your reserve, your save point, invest in your growth, and crucially, put a portion back into circulation, whether through generous giving or a purchase that celebrates your win and reinforces your sense of prosperity. The Bible gives us a compelling example of handling an unexpected flow in the story of Peter's miraculous catch in Luke, chapter 5. Peter, a professional fisherman, had worked all night and caught nothing, repelling effort. Jesus steps into his boat, teaches the crowd, and then gives him an inspired instruction. Put out into deep water and let down the nets for a catch. Skeptical but faithful, Peter obeys. The result? They caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. This was the sign. The magnet worked. And Peter's reaction? First, shock and a sense of unworthiness. Lord, go away from me, for I am a sinful man. He almost rejects the blessing, feeling undeserving. But Jesus calms him and gives him a vision for the next level. Don't be afraid, from now on you will fish for people. Jesus teaches him not to be startled by the miracle, but to see it as the new normal and use it as a platform for a greater purpose. When your wave of unexpected wealth arrives, and it will, don't freak out. Don't dismiss it as luck. Don't cling to it in fear. See it for what it is. Proof that you've learned to align your vibration. Give thanks, manage it wisely, and ask your intuition, what's the next level? How can I use this blessing to create even more value? Have you ever had an experience of receiving money or an opportunity out of nowhere? How did you react at the time? Share your story in the comments. If you want to be ready not just to attract but to manage and multiply the wealth coming your way, drop a like and subscribe. The real test isn't getting the money, it's knowing what to do when it arrives. Chapter 10. The Continuous Attraction. Maintaining your magnetism for a life of effortless abundance. You've learned to stop chasing. You've become a magnet, mastered inner and outer actions, and learned to receive the flow of wealth. The journey has brought you here. But the ultimate goal was never just to attract a sum of money. The goal is to become the very embodiment of attraction. to reach a point where your financial magnetism isn't something you turn on, but simply who you are. This is the state of continuous attraction, a life where abundance flows to you as naturally and effortlessly as the air you breathe. This is the true meaning of getting rich in Florence Scovel Shinn's philosophy. Not amassing a mountain of cash, but becoming such a clear, open channel that the source of wealth flows through you constantly. Sustaining this continuous magnetism hinges on two core practices. The first is loving vigilance. The inner work never stops, but it transforms. It's no longer a battle against doubt, it becomes a dance with faith. You become a serene guardian of your inner garden, spotting a scarcity thought the moment it sprouts and gently weeding it out, not with struggle but with grace. You replace anxiety with peace, not as a technique but as a moment-to-moment choice. Your daily practice of connecting with the source stops being a discipline and becomes your greatest joy, the highlight of your day. You don't meditate to get something, you meditate to be something, a channel of peace, wisdom, and love. The second practice is joyful service. In the state of continuous attraction, your core question shifts from "what can I get?" to "how can I serve?" You realize that the flow of abundance through you grows in direct proportion to the value you share with the world. You become a financial sun, radiating light, value, ideas, help, money, in every direction, knowing a sun's energy is inexhaustible. You invest, give, create, teach, and bless with genuine joy because you understand that giving and receiving are just two phases of the same divine energy flow. You stop worrying about protecting your puddle of money because you've become the ocean itself. The Bible gives us a glimpse of this state in the vision of the river flowing from God's throne in Revelation, chapter 22. Then the angel showed me the river of the water of life, as clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb. On each side of the river stood the tree of life, bearing 12 crops of fruit, yielding its fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree are for the healing of the nations. This is the perfect picture of continuous attraction. A river flows effortlessly from the source, the throne. A tree produces fruit constantly, not by striving but by being what it is. And its purpose isn't hoarding, it's service. The leaves are for the healing of the nations. When you become this river, this tree, worrying about money becomes as absurd as an ocean fretting over a lack of water. You've completed this guide, but your journey to mastering attraction is just beginning. The goal isn't to do this to get rich anymore. It's to be this and let wealth be the natural outcome of who you've become. What's the one practice from this guide you commit to making a daily habit? Not to gain something, but for the joy of living it. Share in the comments what will be the anchor of your new state of being. Thank you for walking this transformative journey with us. If this content has shifted your perspective on money, subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone still stuck on the treadmill of chasing. Your first big act as an abundance magnet, drawing more light into the world. From this day forward, may your life be a steady flow of peace, purpose, and effortless prosperity. Until the next video.